Hey everyone, welcome to Break Diving's Pow Wow for December 2021. Last month of December, we're going to talk about our plans for this month, some of maybe the obstacles we're going through, some of the things we maybe want to accomplish in 2022, and we hope you enjoy this. I'm joined by Bhavya in New Jersey, Betty in Indonesia, I'm down in Miami Beach, Florida, and we're glad you've joined us. And if you're on YouTube, please click like, subscribe, please share the video, leave a comment, we will respond. And most importantly, come join us at breakdiving.io. It's a free, awesome, not-for-profit, supportive community where you can make lots of friends, be a part of events like this and all that. So, hey Bhavya, hey Betty.
Hi.
Hi.
The sun is coming in this thing and it's giving me a glare. Let me see if I can fix the glare. That's a little bit better. Yeah. So it's December already. December 2021. I cannot believe it because I still remember December of 2020 like it was yesterday. The year has gone by quickly for me. How about for you?
Same here.
Yeah.
It's like 2020. I feel like I'm still in 2020. I can't believe that it's 2022 in next just a month.
Yeah. What do you think, Betty?
Yeah, I also can't believe the time goes by very fast.
Yeah.
Only left 1 month to get a new year.
The reason I don't like it is that we're living in the times of the future from the movies back in the 90s. It was always like 2022 was the future with flying cars and robots and all that. And I'm thinking, oh, we live in the future now. It's going to be 2022, soon 2023. To me, it's just very odd. I wish we could have just stayed around 1998, maybe 2004, 2003. 2003 was a good year. We should have just stopped at 2003. That's my perspective. Anyway, so let's talk about what our plans are for December. So we had a little chat in the Break Diving general chat room about some of the challenges we're all going through and what we're hoping to maybe do in the future. So I'll start, and then you guys can share what you'd like to share. I'm starting a new business. I just actually did start it, called Intertect, a private investigation firm, and it's scaring me because I'm getting very close to where I actually have to start doing Google ads and marketing. And I had to quit a job recently because it was taking up a lot of my time and not giving me a lot of pay, and I wasn't getting the return that I was hoping to get, that I did get initially. And so, yeah, I know we were talking, Betty, about making big moves and things like that, and it's horribly scary to go into the unknown and to leave something behind that you're very comfortable with and that provides stability. And I was talking to my friend yesterday, and she was saying that how her sister is the exact opposite of me, where I am living on the edge all the time. And I keep starting new businesses. I keep thinking, oh, I should go get a regular 9-to-5 job, and I can't do it because the stability scares me more. The stability to me is a prison of I'm in prison with the exact same income. And I was just saying how I hate having a sporadic income that changes every month. And I'm dealing with that right now. And it was kind of getting more normal in August, September, October, and then November. It's like, what the heck? And that's a horrible feeling, but you have unlimited upside when you're starting your own business or when you go off into new ventures. And my friend was telling me about her sister, who's the opposite of me, who she has so many dreams in her heart and is so scared to leave her job and the stability of that and the regular income that all she does is talk to her sister, my friend, about how She hates that she's got this job and she's been doing it year in and year out for the last 2 years and hasn't pursued any of the dreams. She doesn't travel. She hasn't left the country. She doesn't go anywhere, doesn't really do anything. It's just working at this job. And she said, Monroe, no matter what the situation you're in, it's better than the one that my sister's in. And I say to her, yeah, but I don't know. The pain that I feel from all of the failures and taking all these chances and falling on my face over and over again, I said, that is pretty horrible. And she helped remind me, goes, yeah, but it's probably not as bad as, and what's the break diver's creed? No rules, no excuses, no regrets. It's worse than probably growing older every single year, and your regret is growing and growing because you don't have the courage to go after your dreams. So I'm scared to go after another business dream, and I've had so many failures over the years. But my goal is to get this private investigation firm officially off the ground. And I'm very close to finishing a novel that I've been working on for about 2 years. I think I have about maybe 4,000 more words, and I'll have a full rough draft. And then I have to just go back and maybe add some more character descriptions and things like that. But I think it's done. And that's scaring me because, oh my gosh, then I have to start submitting it to agents. And what if all the agents reject me? What if I can't find a publisher for it? It's all completely scary. So Betty, this is also for you, for my little speech, but also for everyone watching. If you've got a dream, you've got to take the chance of failure, because yes, I hate dealing with this fluctuating income and, oh gosh, I mean, here break diving is, we were talking about that. Break diving is not making me massive amounts of money. And I thought it was going to be the next Facebook within about 3 months of launching. And it's been many years, and we're a success because here we are. I didn't know Bhavya before launching break diving. I didn't know you, Betty, and you didn't know me. And I think the three of us, we're better because we know each other. And it's because I also took a risk to say, I'm going to start break diving. By the way, break diving, Betty, I started it originally in the year 2000.
2000.
And
2000?
yeah, in the year 2000. So almost 22 years ago. How old are you, Betty?
I'm 34.
34
years.
Okay. So when you were 12, I think, right? Yeah. And of course, break diving in this current form hasn't been around for 22 years. And so everyone thinks, oh, break diving was just started a few years ago by Monroe. It wasn't. It was started. I came up with it in the year 2000 when I was in the military in basic training. And I created it once around 2001 in New York City, and it fizzled out and died as just a local group in New York City. When I got back, when I got back from Iraq in 2005, or in 2006 or end of 2005, I created it again. And throughout 2006, using another third-party website, and it fizzled out there again and died. Pretty horrible. And then finally I said, I got to keep going. It's a dream of mine. I had this dream in my head, this break diving thing. And it's good for me to talk about it because it helps rejuvenate my enthusiasm despite the short-term setbacks of me going, why don't we have tens of thousands of members? But guess what? We've got Betty in Indonesia and Bhavya in New Jersey. And I didn't know you guys before. You didn't know me. And we are bringing people together. And look at you smiling, Betty. Look at Bhavya shaking her head. So it's doing what I wanted it to do. And I think it's succeeded. It has succeeded. It's just not the level yet that we know that it can get. But it's been failure after failure. Even Bhavya knows, she's on the staff here. She helps with the coding and management and accounting. She helps with everything. And I'll publicly say we wouldn't be here if it weren't for Bhavya and her excellent contributions. But we've had incredible failures over the last 3 years since Bhavya's been here. Incredible staff upheavals, people quitting, people leaving, and the site going down many times, crashing. because there are too many people, or there's a memory bloat and this and that. And it's like, oh, why is this happening? And yet here we are today. And so anyone watching, for the month of December, start taking some risks and accept the fact that I have always thought of the word courage. It means it's moving forward despite your fear. It doesn't mean not having fear. It means you recognize, okay, I am scared out of my mind about this decision I'm about to make. And I know there's not a definite success in my future, but I'm going to take this chance. I'm going to venture into the unknown and risk failure, because the flip side of that, maybe I'll succeed. And I think that's what we all need to remind ourselves, and even me too, because literally I was talking to my friend yesterday. I was just getting overwhelmed thinking about starting this new business. I said, what am I thinking? I'm running Break Diving now, which is a business that it's not Twitter, it's not Facebook, it's not massively funded, it doesn't have incredible amounts of publicity, and this takes a lot of time to manage this company. It's a big company, even though it's small. It has a lot of working parts. And I'm thinking about starting another one, another company on the side as well. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And yet crazy is what resulted in Apple. Crazy is what resulted in making the car. Crazy is what resulted in the first airplane. Crazy is the reason why we have electricity. I think Thomas Edison supposedly took 1,000 times before he got the light bulb to finally work. So he had 999 failures, but he says, no, they weren't 999 failures. I found 999 ways that didn't work. And so that's what we need to do. And what I was reminded about yesterday is stop focusing on, oh gosh, I'm going to start another business and maybe that's going to fail too. Fail, like when I say fail, I was talking before, I said, again, break diving is not a failure, but it's not whoa, oh my gosh, we started this amazing social media site and now it's millions of people and now we're starting in this next company. No, I'm starting another company while doing it. It is completely scary. And I'm thinking about failure because I realize how much Bhavya knows what we've gone through these last 3 years. And she didn't even, I already was running the company for about 1.5 years or 2 years before she joined. So she doesn't even know what I went through before recruiting her. So I have to stop, and we have to stop thinking, well, what if I fail? What if I don't have enough money to keep the thing going? What if everyone laughs at me because I started this other business and now stop thinking that way and think, what if this thing succeeds? What if this business is the one that was meant to succeed bigger than all the rest? Maybe this investigation firm is what's going to put break diving on the map. Mm-hmm. Maybe this investigation firm makes so much money that I can then invest $100,000 into break diving. Maybe I end up meeting people through this that end up leading me to whatever next venture it is. So anyway, that's my plan for December, is to start looking more on the bright side and trying my best, because it's hard after you fail over and over and over again. It's called learned helplessness in psychology, where you learn to feel helpless. You learn that no matter how hard you try, you cannot succeed. So then you start to feel like, well, why should I even try when I might not be able to succeed? The quick example of this is there was an experiment by psychologist Martin Seligman, and they don't do experiments like this with animals anymore. Well, apparently they do, because the National Institute of Health was apparently torturing dogs. That's a whole other story. I don't know if you read about that recently, but pretty horrible what some things were happening with dogs in the United States government. But they had these dogs, and they would basically put a barrier. There's a box and there's a barrier here, and they basically taught the dogs that they cannot escape over this barrier. Mm-hmm. And it was so tall that they couldn't jump over it. And they were shocking the dogs but the dogs couldn't escape. So they learned that they can't get out of this situation. So they just started accepting the shocks and just going, and then they removed this partition, which allowed them to escape. And they shocked them again. The dogs didn't even try, even though there was nothing holding them in the box anymore, but they had just been they learned that they were helpless because of all of the failures that they had prior. And that's what happens to us too. And it was happening to me yesterday when I went through this horrible emotional, just, what am I doing? And I have to stop thinking that the past is indicative of the future. Just because there were struggles in the past doesn't mean this next opportunity is not the one that's going to take off. So that's my plan for December, not specifically, but in general is I'm going to push forward with the plan that I had. That's why I moved down to Florida to get this investigation firm going, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to assume that this could be the success. I'm going to move forward thinking of success, not thinking of failure. So Betty, based on what I just said, tell me about what your plan is for December.
Your story is very inspiring, Monroe. What I'm thinking right now is actually I'm still planning for the next year. Maybe if I will resign. Actually, I want to resign and leave my comfort zone. But what make me confused is because I'm not sure if I after resign what I want to do. Working as an employee again or start a business. Really not having an idea for right now. Maybe during this month I will think about my making a plan. If I resign, maybe I will break for 1 or 2 months refreshing. After that, if I got a new idea whether I will start my own business, if no idea for starting a new business, and then I will apply for a new job in different city. I think so.
What excites you more, getting a new job or starting a business?
Starting a new business.
Starting a business.
Yes, starting a
Okay.
business.
What type of business?
Because I have been, that's why I still have no idea, because I have been working for so many years, you know. I have no idea, but I want to make a new move. I mean that something new, maybe. That's why I want to run a business, my own business, but I still have no idea what kind of business, because I have spent all of my time as an employee and working as an accountant, you know, dealing with the number.
What do you think you can do better than other people? And I'll just give you an example. Why did I start break diving? Because I thought that we could do a better job than the other social media sites that are on the market. Why am I starting this investigation firm? Because I think I can do a better job than the other firms that are out there. So what do you think you could do better that would fill a need in the market?
I really have no idea actually for right now.
Okay, what do you like to do? What kind of things do you like to do?
Actually, I like travel.
Okay.
So I think that maybe I can start travel agent, because I have several friends from abroad. But looking for this current situation, I think travel agency is not suitable for right now.
Maybe or maybe not. Maybe it because you haven't started a business before. Maybe that's the business that you could start, because you'll then get ready for when travel starts to open up a little bit more. Maybe everybody else is thinking, I'm not going to start a travel business now. That's the stupidest thing to start now in this environment. But maybe because of that, there's no competition and you might find a niche. Maybe you can come up with a travel idea that helps people to travel in these new COVID times. We all think that this is going to end sometime soon, but it looks like these governments don't want it to end. These governments like the control that they have over their people. So think about, maybe if, God forbid, this is the future of the world, but honestly, like, I was thinking of going overseas myself, and I was just looking and thinking, what a pain in the butt it is. Whatever, you don't know which countries have which restrictions, which one is the easiest one to go to. How not? Maybe you could create an agency that helps everybody get all the documents so that they can travel more easily. I would hire you. Even if, like, if I wanted to go overseas, says, hey, Betty, here, can you tell me everything? I want to go to Thailand, or I want to go visit Malaysia. Can you tell me everything that I need as an American that I can get into Malaysia? So there's a lot of things you can do. You should come up with a list of all of the different things that you could do. And yeah, the reason why you don't have any ideas for businesses, because you haven't sat down to think about it. You need to think of it as a real homework assignment. You sit down with a pad, paper, and you say, and you go and you sit down and say, I'm not leaving the, I'm gonna go to the library. I'm not leaving the library until I have 10 ideas for businesses that I could start. And something that I've learned over the years, make sure you do have another source of income while you're starting your new business. When I was your age, I just started a business. It's actually the precursor to break diving. It was called Unstoppable Actors. And I just started it without having a part-time job. And I've looked back and realized it's a complete mistake. Unless you have so much money in the bank that you can afford to live for 3 years without making any money. It takes 3 years before a business. Look at break diving. We launched in March of 2019, the website. The company had been in business since 2016. We launched the site in 2019. Now it's almost 2022. It's almost been 3 years since we launched. And we basically break even. We make enough money from paid members and from donations that we are basically breaking even. But even then, actually, we're not. We probably need to make an extra $600 a year in order to fully break even, because our server costs have gone up. And the idea being that thankfully break diving has enough money in the bank that it can survive for the next probably year and a half, but it's because it has money in the bank. So if you don't have a lot of money in the bank, don't start the business thinking this is it, it's going to succeed. Like this private investigation firm, there's no way I'm expecting to be making money during the first 3 months, maybe not even the first 6 months. And so that's why I know, and that's kind of where the stress comes from. I have to spend a lot of time at break diving, a lot of time with this new company as well, and I have to make money and continue my Chinese study, my French study, my Italian study, German study, continue my martial arts. Trust me, Betty, you have enough time to do all the things you need to do. Same thing with you, Bobby. You got plenty of time. We're all just lazy. And when I look and say that I haven't gotten as much done as I wanted to, usually it's because I was watching Netflix too many, or I was sleeping too much, or I was just sitting on the couch, or I went to too many movies out at the theater, or spending too much time with friends. So where there's a will, there's a way. All I'm saying is I think you need to come up with a big list of lots of companies, and then you can come up with 10 to 20 business ideas. You'll narrow them down to 3. You'll do an analysis on those 3, put together a plan, and then decide, okay, this is the 1 or 2 that you start. You're going to make lots of mistakes when you start your business. I make mistakes. I still make mistakes, and I've run lots of businesses. And you just keep learning as you go, and you make sure that you do have an income from some other job. There are some people who start businesses and immediately they are profitable. And I say, congratulations to you. You were very fortunate. But most people who start businesses fail. When I say fail, the business after 3 years is no longer in business. It doesn't mean you shouldn't try, because you might be one of those where it does succeed. But don't be under the false impression that you starting a business is magically going to make you free. And it just creates different stress. When you have a job, you have financial security and you hate your life. But because usually you get sick of the job, you don't want to go to the job, you don't want to wake up at 8 a.m. But if you have a business, you have lots of free time. But you're often very stressed because of the financial uncertainty. But so with a job, you don't have an unlimited financial potential because you get paid the same thing every month. But you may not have a lot of free time and you may not enjoy the time you spend at work. When you start your own business, you got lots of free time, but it's very nerve-wracking. And you don't have financial stability, but any day, kaboom, it could take off like a rocket and you can make up massive amounts of money. And that's the same thing with break diving. It's a not-for-profit, but if this thing suddenly is making $10 million, everyone on staff is going to be making a good salary. And if the investigation firm takes off, great, I'm going to be making a good salary. And the reason why you start the business is you want to, it's not because it's a simple solution to having a job. You start the business because you want to control your time. You really want to be your own boss. But remember, you don't get rid of bosses. When you start your business, the clients become your boss. In many ways, Betty, you are my boss. Why? Because you're the reason for which the company is created. Without members, there is no. So when you tell me, hey, Monroe, I think we need to change this, we listen because, as they say, customer is king. If you don't make the customers happy and you have no more customers, well, then you don't make money. So starting a business can be really frustrating too, because you can have terrible clients. Sometimes as a lawyer, I have clients who will constantly and not everyone is like, some people I like to hear from, but some people are just constantly phone calls. Why isn't this done? Why didn't you do this? I told you to do this a week. Remember, I'm just like, leave me alone. I'll get it done. Just stop bothering me. So you end up having another boss. So you start a travel firm. Guess what? You might have the client from hell. So don't. What you should also do, Betty, is start reading books too about starting businesses. Have you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
No, I know that book, but
So
I haven't.
You need to start reading these books too. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Read Cash Flow Quadrant. In fact, there's a book. There's a reading list on the Break Diving blog. I'll go. Did you see it? Let me just show it to you, because breakdiving.blog. We posted that a few months ago. And let's see. Look, it's the last one that we posted. When was this? Back in September. So if you go here and click on this, start reading these books that talk about entrepreneurship. So here, Psychology and Decision Making. These are great books that you can read. Investing in Money, History, Relationships. There should be one on entrepreneurship. You need to learn about sales and marketing when you're running a business. So, and Bhavya and I and Ileana were reading this Ultimate Guide to Google Ads constantly, trying to improve our Google Ads for the company. You need to be better at time management because you're running a business. And here, Entrepreneurship Before You Quit Your Job, LLC or Corporation. Get started reading. And this meeting is going to go more than, it's going to go an extra 5 minutes. Let me just text my Chinese teacher. So I don't want to stop this really short randomly. 1 second. Skype. I don't even know who my class is with. I don't know. I'll figure it out in a second. She'll end up calling me. So in summary, I think Bhavya will agree, maybe she'll disagree. But you shouldn't, there's nothing wrong with quitting a job. You can quit a job. But if your idea is to start a business, before you quit the job to start the business, I would make sure you do a lot of reading on starting and running a business, cash management, investment, time management, all that, all those books on that break diving reading list. Make sure you put together a good business plan for 2 or 3 businesses, and then maybe even post them in the community and say, hey, which of these 3 businesses do you think is best and is most likely to succeed? And yeah, I just got a message on Skype. Make sure that you, oh, let me tell her. 你好，我会迟到5分钟，我会给你打电话，好吗? Okay, 1 second. I just told my teacher I'll be 5 minutes late. And if you don't like your current job and you have 3 months worth of savings saved up, that it might be worth quitting, because the job seems to be taking all of your energy from you, right?
Yeah.
If there's a job that's leaving you absolutely exhausted, you shouldn't be at that job. Oh. And hold on 1 second. So you should be looking for another job, but what you need to look for is a job that is, I used to talk about this a lot when I did a lot of public speaking, FFF, fun, flexible, financially rewarding. Because the only way you can, I did this when I was talking to actors a lot, and actors were exhausted too from their terrible day jobs, and they never had time to go on auditions because they had to go to work 9 to 5, or they were so exhausted because they got home from work, they had no energy to actually look for acting auditions, or they weren't making enough money from it, so they were constantly financially stressed. So originally it was to help actors, but it's really for anyone who's starting a business. You need a job or a source of income that has those 3 things. It needs to be fun so that you enjoy yourself while you're there, so you get energized. When you're done with your day at work, you can still do other things. It needs to be flexible. So if you do get a client, you can shuffle things around and make sure that you can meet the client at a time that's convenient for the client or whatnot. Because if the job isn't flexible, then you're not going to be able to run your business very well. And 3, it needs to be financially rewarding. You need to make enough money from your source of income, your whatever it is, so that you can continue to push forward with the company. This is my number 1 thing, and Bobby knows about this with break diving. It's constantly putting money into our savings account. And we have about $1,500, $1,800 or so in our savings account. So even if we run out of our entire operating fund, we have money in savings that will keep this company running. It's the same thing. And this is why you need to have your emergency savings account, so that if your company is not, you can still pay, it's not giving you an income, you can still pay your bills. And so I think, Bobby, what do you think about what I'm selling here?
Those are the great suggestion. I think starting the company is a big step. I think preparing yourself initially, yes, it takes time. So I think we should give time to read and prepare mentally which one would work for you. Mainly, it should be, I think, what you like or what you believe in. It should be that area. Yeah.
You know, I'll leave you with this, Betty. When I was in China, I often gave these types of talks, and one of my students, gave him this exact same talk. He was thinking about, he hated his job, wanted to start a business, blah 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 blah. The next day, he texts me on WeChat, Monroe, I did it. I quit my job. I just said, whoa, but do you have a plan? He goes, no plan. I'm just quit my job, but I feel great. And I was thinking, oh gosh, I'm hoping you're right. About 3 months later, he wrote to me again to say, hey, I did everything you told me and it worked out really well. I ended up spending this time. I had some money in savings. I created a business plan. I started a business, and now I run my own business. And it's great. So it can work. It can work out. And sometimes you just need to take that chance. All I can say is don't put yourself in complete financial distress. The fact that you have 3 months of expenses saved up is good. That means no matter what, if the business is struggling, you're going to be able to find a way to pay your bills and get food and maybe get another job. But I would do your research first in your situation, because you've never started a business before. You don't have any training in starting a business. At least read some books from people who have done that before to go through some of the pitfalls. And I know if you go to your local library, is there a local library in town?
No.
No.
there's
Okay.
no.
So if you go to pdfdrive.com, there are lots of PDFs of versions of books you can get. If you go to Amazon, I'm sure you can buy inexpensive Kindle versions. So do your research, and let's all make December a successful month. So before, as we always do in these BD Powers, when we finish, let's just come up with what are the top 3 things you're going to work to accomplish this month. I'll start. 1, I am going to keep this mentality of what I just said in my mind as well, and focus on the potential for success moving forward, while keeping in mind that I want to make sure I never put myself in financial jeopardy. 2, I'm going to work on finishing the first draft of my novel, because it has a great chance of getting picked up by an agent, and that could bring me in a great source of income. And I'm going to say 3 is make sure I spend enough time on my investigation firm and on break diving to make sure that I accomplish great things for both of them this month, more than I did in the last 3 months combined. Bhavya.
Yeah, my plan was December month, like complete 3 coding exercises from Code Mentors. It's really, I've done 1. It's really helped me to become confident with my CSS skills. So that thing, and second one is practice writing. I'd focus more on writing. Then the third one is meditation. Focus on meditation. I'm stopped doing it from last few months. I think I have to get back to that. Yeah.
Excellent. Beautiful. I don't need to say I hope this was a good meeting for the both of you, because I know that it was for me, and I could see your reactions. We had a good time, good inspiration. And for those of you on YouTube, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you'll share this with your friends. This is the type of inspiration we provide at Break Diving, not only through these events, but also in our community. It's an awesome group of people from around the world who are all going after our dreams. So let's all wave goodbye to our friends on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and all that jazz.